Thank you, friends. Shabbat shalom and greetings to you all. Now, every year, fewer and fewer Holocaust survivors are left. We must step up the efforts to continue to educate and talk and teach about the horrors that are brought, while we, the whole world, all kept saying it must never happen again. And I fear that the further from it we get, the more likely to recur it is. It does seem to be happening again. We're now at 4 months and counting. 4 months since the slaughter of innocents whose only offense was being Jewish. It's another genocide in the works. How does that make you feel? Wouldn't you think any rational, normal human would be disgusted, revolted, outraged? So where are those voices? Those aren't the voices you expected. South Africa, home of apartheid, went to the International Court of Justice to charge Israel with genocide. And the court has issued their findings. Yes, it's plausible, and they ordered Israel to comply with the Genocide Convention and allow more humanitarian aid into Gaza. Of course, no order to Hamas to release hostages. Well, 130 kidnapped hostages are still missing. We now know that at least 30 more of the hostages have died, but the butchers and terrorist monsters have said nothing. They still dangle, trading lives for the chance to rearm, and not just for the hostages, but they want more. They want the convicted murderers and terrorists freed from the prisons they reside in. Please, no. And world, wake up. You cannot appease terror. And don't forget, this week we see the celebration of love. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody, the non-Jewish festival of love. Love is reaching. Reaching love. Love is asking to be loved. Love is you. You and me. Love is knowing we can be. I think every day should be the day to honor love. Doesn't need a holiday. Before then, of course, we're on the cusp of the Chinese New Year, the year of the dragon. Let's hope it brings change, friendship, camaraderie, and love. And why can't we all be friends? Now, the Torah's told us and tells us in today's reading how we need to look out for each other, each of us, because we are each the same. We're all connected. As we know, the Chinese New Year, and this is the year of the dragon, as I said, also heralds the final month of the celestial year, Adar, Pisces. And don't forget, this is a double leap year. We add a day to, the year, and we add a month to the Hebrew calendar, a second Adar. So we're going to remind you that on the 14th of Adar the second, that is, we'll be celebrating Purim, which some consider akin to the Jewish Halloween, which it is, of course, nothing like, other than people dress up in costume. But the reason for the costume is a little different. Although to compare an event designed as a genocide while Israel is accused of genocide, Halloween seems strange. In some ways it is, and as we get closer, we're going to examine why. We're going to talk more about it. But for now, know that it is considered a major celebration of what's actually a minor holiday. We give it the title of minor holiday not because it's inferior, but because the major holidays are the biblically mandated ones, the gathering festivals. And it is actually the minor ones which have the greatest level of celebration attached to them. A celebration is a sign of honoring things. We honor the New Year's, we honor birthdays, anniversaries. We honor the great gatherings that occur because they occur with great celebrations. Just as we gather as a like-minded group, smaller gatherings, collective consciousness of seekers as we show faith every week, any and all faith, love, any and all love, because we are a fellowship, a true chavura, which means fellowship, As we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though we're together, we're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, some physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all. Let's all gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Avika Hine Matov. Shevet Avika. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, my friends, so let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, this is your setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own little sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's part of your Kavanah. It is your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. And goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, of what you can correct. When you fall off course, you can get yourself back on. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your life. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing, some renewal out to whoever you know that needs it. Because healing and renewal is for everybody. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, it is for our pets, it's for the earth, it is that healing of the world, the tikkun olam. Healing of the world, it's part of our spiritual genetic makeup, and a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send out energy for the people in need everywhere. And special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance, and especially, for those hostages, still held in the underground prisons. We pray for those who need prayer. You don't have to know them. Because we want health, recovery, good life, goodwill for everybody around us. For Howard, for Lisa, Sharon, for Lisa's baby, for the Cardinal and Barbara, for Joel and Pam, for Terry and the D-Man, for Linda and Shelley, for John, Maria, for Charles, for Gloria and Doria, for Teresa, for Johnny, for Fern, for Ronnie, Connie, for Snoopy, Kay, for Nina, for Danny, for all those suffering and in need. And let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all our sacred animal friends everywhere, because everybody who is in need, and it's the whole world, they should all have healing and renewal. And of course, always for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, it is the healing, which is the goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all your care. Because the world is a world of spirit. Spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotenu Makor HaBracha Libotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us, helps find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, may all of our spirits be renewed the world over, because this is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He's healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. So let's all send and receive healing, renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. The last week we stood together on the mountain. We received the 10 laws of how to live life. They're the only real laws that count. They rise above all else, and they unify all beliefs and treatment. No other gods, no images, no broken oaths. Remember to stop each week. Honor your mother and father, the roots of the female and male. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, no false witness, which is no lying, and no coveting. Live by these, and the rest are simply window dressing. And this week we read mishpatim, judgements. And so begins the window dressing, the minutiae of laws that will probably go on forever. Exodus 21:1. These are the judgments, or laws, that you shall set before them. These are the judgments that you shall set. Now, these next three chapters, Exodus 21 through 23, are really just a body of law which has come to be known as the covenant code over time. Do they really belong here? Who knows? I personally doubt it. I think it's just part of the editing. They're more for an established, developing nation, not a wandering group who just stood listening to the words of God. And as you read it, you're going to say, well, this is really for a civilization, not for desert wanderers. Now, the first of these laws is really a fascinating one. It's Exodus 21:2. When you will buy a Hebrew slave, he shall work 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out liberated for free. Many have wondered why the first law given to the people freed after 400 years in slavery, right after the Great Epiphany, that's governed our basic philosophical outlook for a few thousand years. It stands at the establishment of what has been called the Judeo-Christian view. It was about the treatment of their slaves. You would have thought they would have immediately said no slaves, period, but not in the least. It's a complex section, and it covers a set of laws, and it gives an introduction to the archaic lex talionis, the law of retribution, which we were actually also familiar with. Took an untrodden path once, where the swift don't win the race. Goes to the worthy, can divide the word of truth. Took a stranger to teach me to look into justice's beautiful face. See an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. Now, that's a law before there were laws, but we've moved past that. Now, this week is every week. Look for what to take for yourself. And everyone should and will be different in any given reading and what strikes you. This book is not like most. It's not a one read, put away, and say read it book. In every reading, there's something new. It's a book you read knowing what comes next, unlike most books, which you put away when you know what comes next. But something's going to strike you differently about it. So what do I want you to notice in this reading? Well, it could be about slave treatment. And I get more questions about that than almost anything else. Because people are just so confused. How can, people who've been slaves for 400 years have their first law be about slaves? Maybe you're going to be, struck by this section about property rights. Because that's here too. And that's really an important part. Even the annual festivals, which have not been set yet, are listed and quickly outlined here, but only by name, not by ritual. The rituals all come later. But of all these things in this reading, I'm going to suggest two things. I want you to notice that there is this underlying theme of justice for all, and this fascinating concept of the sabbatical year, that 7th year. We already saw that in the 7th year, your Hebrew slave goes free. It's all about the weakest members of society are to be most protected. So what happens? Emphasis, like I say, is on decency and dignity. Exodus 22:25. If you take your neighbor's clothing as security, you shall give it back to him by the sunset, because it's his only apparel. It is his clothing for his skin. What will he sleep? Right? So simple little rights like that. Look at east. Look at west. See people cursed. See people blessed. Ask it everyone like a man possessed. Have you sing dignity. Dignity reaches all aspects of life. And this really starts to hone in on the fact that dignity is so important. If someone loses something, Exodus 23:5. If you will see the ass of someone who hates you, sagging under its burden, you would hold back from helping him. You can't. You must help him. We are here to help each other. And we are responsible to our communities and to what is morally and ethically right. This is law built on ethics and morals, not just on ritual. Exodus 23:8. You shall not take a bribe, because bribery will blind those who can see and will undermine the words of the virtuous. And you shall not oppress an alien, since you know the alien's soul, because you were aliens in the land of Egypt. No one is treated better or worse. Boy, have we gotten far away from that. Everything's about decency. Everything is a constant reminder, that we were given before Exodus 23:2. You shall not be following many to do bad. I cannot emphasize this one enough. Don't follow a group, a crowd, a majority. If what they are doing is wrong, that is that mob mentality. Do not do it for acceptance. For the secure feeling of being a member, or the sadistic pleasure of being able to exclude someone. It's easy to be hurtful in a group. Things you would never normally do. And it's easy to keep silent when one's group does harm. Or when its leaders do harm from their position, which derives its power from the group. Right? It was a warning in the plagues, it's a warning again. We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And this monster is mysterious. At least. Bring your guns, bring your knives, save your children and your wives. We'll save our village and our lives. We'll kill the beast. Now, Disney did it so beautifully with the mob scene of Beauty and the Beast. That's cartoon. We live in a real world of mob mentality. Now, last week we talked about the New Year of the Trees and their amazing life-giving contribution to this great partnership we share. But it's not just trees. It is for all of our planting. Remember the Shemitah year, the sabbatical year for the land, which is talked about here, the every 7th year, without which we would have no crops. We would die. It is connected to the concept of crop rotation, which sees a series of different types of crops in the same area to reduce the reliance on one set of nutrients for the land. And here it's about the resting of the land for the 7th year of its cycle, so it too can renew, just as we must renew. Exodus 23:10. 6 years you shall sow your land and gather its produce. At the 7th you shall let it lie fallow and leave it. Your people's indigent will eat. What they leave, the animal of the field will eat. You shall do this also to your vineyard, to your olives. So we not only let the land recover, but we ensure the animals survive, the indigents survive. We are the caretakers of this great sphere spinning through space and time. We don't own it. We must recognize its sanctity. We are here to care for it. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share freedom with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate with each other, we love each other. We share this right together, men and women equally. Let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. Learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life to those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will in the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. It's all linked. You always have time to forgive and to be forgiven because you have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those you've hurt as you learn to be forgiving and be compassionate. Forgive those who've hurt you. The secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. Keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of your real power lies in your consciousness, in your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. We're all a giant heart connected. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. Because we share together, we learn together, we help each other, because we are, each of us, trying to find love and acceptance and support, because we all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean. Because you are never alone on your journey. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God. He, she, it, them, they, whatever, continues to talk to you. And in concluding this section of the reading, you're going to be seeing that you're given a schedule of holy days. Exodus 23:14, you shall celebrate 3 pilgrimages for me in the year. Observe the festival of unleavened bread, festival of harvest, first fruits of what you do, of what you will sow in the field, and the festival of gathering at the end of the year when you gather what you have done from the field. These 3 gathering festivals, Passover, Shavuot, Sukkot, they're talked about, but we don't know what they're for. And to ensure we know we're under the grace of God, there's still another promise that God makes. 23:20. Here, I'm sending an angel ahead of you to watch over you on the way, to bring you to the place that I prepared. Friends, we all have angels looking out for us. No, we don't always see them. No, we don't always know they're there. No, we don't always think we are protected, but we are. They are. It's not dependent on our seeing them. It's an old Latin expression, videre est credere. To see is to believe. But it is equally true that credere est videre. To believe is to see. When you believe, you see things you otherwise might miss. Believe, because there is always an angel with you. From this moment on, I know exactly where my life will go. Seems that all I really was doing was wait for love. No need to be afraid. No need to be afraid. It's real love. It's real, yes. It's real love. It's real. Real love is all around you. The angels in your life keep bringing it to you. Fight for love. Share it. Celebrate it this week. Thank you for joining me, my friend. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.